Hello, my name is Maxine Samone. I'm here to share a touch of Venus with you. We're going to get into a collective message. If you can't stay on TikTok for the whole reading, it will be posted on YouTube. And if you're seeing this on YouTube in the future, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your time and energy with me. And if you can like the video, share it with a friend that you feel like it resonates with, and subscribe. That's a free way to support everything that I'm doing in the channel. So I really felt called to start the collective message with some bibliomancy. This is one of my favorite books. So you see it's worn the fuck out because I spilled something on it. But this was foundational in me learning about transformative astrology. Astrology, Karma, and Transformation, the Inner Dimensions of the Birth Chart by Stephen Arroyo. He's a really well-known astrologer. I didn't even finish this actually, but you see I'm a highlight maniac and I bookmarked. Oh, I didn't actually get even that far, but it was transformational in that already. Okay, so maybe we'll skip to like a part that I haven't read. Hello. Just to see what's going to come out. I've been picking up on some really turbulent energies in October. And we're not doing it for the month necessarily, but this can apply whenever you're seeing this. Something could be in there for you. Something just got on my eye. But yeah, this month feels kind of turbulent, especially we're going to be going from Libra to Scorpio. We're going to be dealing with the shadow. I feel like you can also look at what's going on in a worldview type of way. And there's been a lot of destruction. There's been a lot of literally natural disasters. Thank you. And it's just a lot of shit going on, you know? And I think that there's opportunities to look at those reflections and to do some deep introspective work. And I think that this is going to help us with, hello. How are you? This is going to help us with uncovering more of our power, which is like, you know, it's a well that just keeps on going, the gift that just keeps on giving. You know what I'm saying? The shadow work. But it feels like, I don't know, let's just see what spirit wants to bring to us. Ooh, karma and relationships. We have a beautiful image. This is Libra popping out right here. Interesting. Let's see. It says, this is the quote on the start of the chapter 7 as well. And this is Libra 7th house. Libra rules traditionally the 7th house, which deals with contracts, relationships, karma. He said, I'm a Libra. Okay, so we got some Libras in the chat. Okay, so it says human relations are for self-revelation and not self-gratification. People, especially true friends, are mirrors in which we begin to discover ourselves. And I'm going to read, I'm just going to read what's on this page and see what stands out. It could easily require an entire book to explain all the various astrological factors pertinent to relationships and their karmic implications. Hence, in this chapter, I will concentrate on those major factors encountered in comparing individual charts, which are commonly problematical and could therefore be dealt with more effectively by a consideration of the karmic patterns involved. So if you, we're going to go ahead. Oh, thank you for the gift. When it comes to looking at karma in your chart and karmic relationships, obviously you can compare two charts and use synastry. Oh my gosh, this whole left side of my face is bothering me. It's like, now all of a sudden my nose is itching. All of a sudden my eyes bothering me. But like, maybe this kind of like storm energy that I'm picking up on is going to help with clearing out some karmic contracts, or maybe energetic cords, because the left side of the body is dealing with the spirit, you know, the feminine energy. But when you look at, if you want to look at karma in your chart, or how you deal with relationships, or the types of relationships you may be presented in your life, look at the 7th house, obviously. We're going to look at Saturn, obviously, because he is, you know, the ruler of karma. I really like studying Saturn, which this book covers specifically Saturn, Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus, because those are the transcendental planets, which means they're not personal planets, meaning they're outside planets that are usually generational. So they help to break or create cycles in the collective versus like individuals, which are the personal planets. So there's a whole chapter on karma and how Saturn works in the chart, and I think I read that part. I remember reading doesn't fucking matter what I remember reading, but basically you want to look at those two places. You also want to look at where Capricorn is in your chart, because that's where there could be like bounds, bindings, kind of, your own limiting beliefs specifically, not like from an outside source. But if you have a particularly turbulent seventh house, you may deal with more karmic contracts than most people. I'll use myself as an example, as per usual. I have a Pisces seventh house, and I have Saturn in Pisces in my seventh house. So I have a very karmic seventh house. Okay. And so the first half of, I've even had other readings by other astrologers. Like I had a Vedic chart reading before. She did both my Western and my Vedic, and her main focus, and this is when I did not want to hear this shit. This is when I was barely starting to get into everything. Hello. I was barely starting to get into everything, and I was like, she was like, you don't need to be dating for real, like for real, to avoid so many pitfalls. You don't need to be dating or trying to take anybody seriously until after your Saturn return. I'm currently in my Saturn return. This was, I got that reading back 2018 or something. So I was first starting to really play with the cards and like understand my gifts and things like that. And I was not trying to hear that. I was actually in a relationship at the time, and I was like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, I am such a love. I have a Pisces Venus. Like, I am lover girl to the T, you know what I'm saying? And I also have my sun in Pisces in the seventh house. I have a lot of concentrated energy on relationships, and maybe this is why this is coming through me as a reader specifically, because it is also a topic that I haven't really wanted to talk about because I've had so many turbulent relationships. But it also, I think as I've matured, I guess, and gone through my Saturn return, I'm like, oh, these are the things that you thought broke you at one point, where are the things that actually are your power, that you understand very thoroughly. And I've extracted a lot of lessons about myself through studying the shadows of my relationships and my relational dynamics. And then I've also learned, like spiritually, how to kind of unbind those contracts and get into like cord cutting and all of those things and those types of rituals as well, because I feel like I've met some very strong karmic partners. You know, like all of my karmic partners were very much into spirituality as well, practitioners and things like that had their own, like, it was very potent. All of the relationships I've been in have been very deep, you know? And so I'm interested to keep going and see what it says about the karmic relationships. And this could be, let me see, I don't want to ignore the comments. You said, congratulations, thank you. Me with my empty 7th house in Taurus, girl, I'm not supposed to be in a relationship for real. Absolutely, I have to disagree. 7th house, just because it's empty does not mean that you're not meant to be in a relationship. It just means that the relationship energy may play out in a different area of your chart. So Taurus is ruled by Venus, so you can find where Venus is in your chart. And that was another planet I wanted to mention about karma too. It's not so much about karma, but when it comes to relationships, obviously we're going to look at Venus, you know. But yeah, look at where Venus is in your chart, and you'll see how relationships will play out, or like what area of life you may find like a relationship type of dynamic. Oh, Venus and Capricorn, bless your heart. You know what I'm saying? Bless you, because like I was just saying, Cap kind of has those binding aspects to it. It's Venus and Capricorn. It's not a very romantic placement. It's very contractual. It's very like, I I feel like you guys could low-key have like quarterly meetings on like how your relationship is going, you know? Like these are my standards, are they still being met, are they not? If not, like this is the improvement plan type of thing. Or you're very much okay with being by yourself as well, you know? You said the 8th in Gemini. Yes, Venus and Gemini. I've also dated quite a few Venus and Gemini people. I think that Venus and Gemini people have beautiful, like a beautiful concept of love, because it can lean into almost like sapiosexual, where it's like they're attracted to the intelligence and conversation skills and all those things. That's why I think that I've attracted a lot of them, because I can just go on and talk, and I like once I'm comfortable with somebody, I can talk forever, you know? And I think that they like the open-mindedness of that. But then I also feel like there's like this insatiable curiosity to where if you start to bore them, they will definitely look elsewhere, you know? And so, there's all the Venus. I keep saying, obviously my company's name is A Touch of Venus, and I want to make some Venus like series. But when it comes to making series, I swear it's like I get excited about the idea of them, and then like actually doing all 12 signs by the time I get to my own, I'm just like, this is not the excitement for doing the series is kind of gone. I have to like ride the wave, you know? But yes, I do want to do more content on Venus and relationships and all of those things, because I do think that it's such a big part of life. Like it literally, even when you look at a chart, like this isn't a chart specifically, but obviously it's the shape of one, you know? And so when we have our first house, it's typically this little pie slice. 7th house is over here, right here. It's like over this little halfway point. It flips over. This whole bottom half of your chart is so introspective. It's all about you and how you take in information, how you like your psyche or whatever. And then as soon as you flip over, it's like the world and how you interpret the world based off of how your psyche is built and what you're doing internally. And so like once you flip over, the first house you end up in is relationships and the 7th house. And so it can tell you, if you know exactly what you're about to get into based off of your depth of being able to like go look inward. And that's what I've learned through my relationships. Every single time that I would attract somebody from like a unconscious state, this is before like I would say that I've been into all these things, and I was just following my attraction, following like, you know, all those different feelings and all the things. I wasn't doing the introspective work to see like what was the point of attraction. And a lot of the times, especially my younger years, it was from a unconscious shadow state where I needed to be able to experience my own shadow outside of myself, 7th house, to be able to reflect and be like, what the fuck was that? You know what I'm saying? But not point the finger, but to take responsibility for who and what I'm attracting and what I'm allowing in my life. Because if it wasn't a energetic vibrational match, it wouldn't have existed in my reality. And that doesn't mean, and when I say that too, I mean that when we're choosing to continue a connection, you know what I'm saying? Like when we're wanting that person to stay and we're not really thinking about why, you know? Or if we're noticing a pattern that we don't like, but we can't let go, why? You know what I'm saying? Or if you do meet somebody and you're like, oh, okay, this is, I don't know, it's just becoming more decisive, being able to pivot quicker, you know, and it's not running away from something or someone. It's about discernment and knowing like, is this person worth, is it not worth, but like, can they put their heels in the ground and do the work with you to work through the shadows that you guys are presenting each other? Or is it going to be a continuous blame game kind of thing and keep each other in this low vibrational state where the shadow is kind of taking over the relationship, both of y'all's shadows taking over the relationship, you know? Interesting. I like the bibliomancy. It's bringing out all these different conversations. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Trying to see where I left off. Okay, by focusing primarily on the aspects of Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and their other corresponding houses, meaning where they're put in the chart, I do not mean to infer that no other factors in comparison or in individual charts have karmic implications. Of course, there's other parts of the chart that can point to karmic relationships. Specifically, two that pop into mind, if someone's south node, if your south node is someone's sun sign, or if like they land on or very close to one another, like in synastry, that could be a karmic relationship or a past life connection. It doesn't always have to be karmic in a painful way, but there's definitely stuff to work through. I've seen Chiron, you know, and like that kind of thing. Like if you guys have a shared aspect with their Chiron or your Chiron, that can be really healing. You said I had someone's Venus conjunct my South Node and Pluto. That sounds... Okay, so they had... Let me read it again. Venus conjunct your South Node and Pluto. Damn, so your South Node is very powerful. Interesting. Pluto on your South Node is really interesting to me. But having Venus being able to bring that out of you, that person probably... That... I can just imagine that's probably like a really intense relationship. You said sun was conjunct your Chiron. Oh yeah, that was hella intense, but in like it's supposed to be a healing way. But you know, we all know that when we say healing, it's just like going through a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Basically, Chiron and Gemini, I believe. Yes, Chiron and Gemini is pretty. I feel like you're learning how to like synthesize information and really coming to your own conclusions versus like what you're hearing from other people. It has like an air of gossip, but like not really, I don't know. It's not gossip, isn't that's such a surface level thing for Gemini. It's not gossip. It's synthesizing a bunch of information, you know what I'm saying? And then like being able to come to your own truth. And if you're not around those that are actually displaying integrity and truth, you know, that could cause confusion for you, and being able to like trust your own instincts kind of is coming to mind. You said, what about someone's sun sign on your north node? I would say that is also, anything on the nodes is really, really transformative. North node is going to make you uncomfortable. This person it feels like it would be good for you, but uncomfortable, because I think that it would bring up for you your own shadows that you have to deal with, not in the way of it being presented in another person and then reflecting it back to you, but more so your own fears holding you back from stepping out of your comfort zone to explore the relationship. You might actually find that quote unquote like you're the toxic one, because if you're unwilling to kind of like, I don't know, explore that relationship, because it's going to make you feel very uncomfortable, you know. Like my north node is in Scorpio, so I've met quite a few Scorpios, and obviously Scorpio is not the easiest sign to deal with, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but they would push me out of my comfort zone in a lot of ways, and I just didn't know how to deal with it, you know. I just didn't really know how to deal with it. I don't know how else to say it. It was just more like you're making me uncomfortable, you know what I'm saying? But then, like, that is, like, the beauty of Scorpio, is the discomfort and, like, being a walking tower moment, pretty much. And I think that I needed to be comfortable making other people uncomfortable, because they kind of don't care. They kind of already know that that's how they are and what they come with, or they have to get used to that, you know? And so I feel like as I've been stepping into my north node, it's, like, realizing that I can't make everybody happy, you know, and that I'm not going to make everybody feel comfortable, even though like I really want to create safe spaces for people. I think it's more, as my journey has unfolded, it's been like more about creating safe spaces for people to feel discomfort and be witnessed in their discomfort, you know, because that's powerful too, to allow people to be witnessed, you know. Me and these Virgos, I love me a Virgo, I'm not gonna lie. I love a Virgo. But I have a Virgo moon and Virgo rising, so. Okay, continuing. If the law of karma does not guide everything in an individual life, at least in its general pattern, structure, and circumstances, then this would seem to be especially true in our relationships with other human beings, in which there is an endless give and take through a spontaneous interchange of energy. Okay, one might say that there is a constant crediting and debiting of our karmic account within any particular relationship, a continual paying off debts and refining of attachments. In some cases, we primarily have to give to another person. In other cases, we primarily have to receive. And then there are relationships wherein there seems to be a fairly even exchange of energy, as if the scales of karma were being ever so subtly balanced through the people's periodic interaction. As an astrologer and marriage and family counselor, so this guy, he uses a lot of like examples of people that he came into his office, which I really love. There's the astrology books that I really have loved. There's another one about Hermes, and he was a psychologist as well, and he would pull from specific clients' charts and like specific examples. So it's like you could see how it plays out in real life. Love that. I've seen hundreds of relationships, and this experience has clearly reveled one inescapable fact. When doing chart comparisons, although the astrological factors which symbolize various types of attraction and compatibility are almost innumerable, the inner chart factors in which symbolize definite problems in making a relationship work in a healthy way can in many ways be reduced to a few key elements. Namely, these problematic factors are the challenging inner chart aspects involving one's person's Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, and the others, personal planets or ascendant. So it's to basically see where those transcendental planets fall on your personal planets and vice versa. These aspects reveal areas of life wherein those two people may experience striking conflict, discord, disillusionment, oppression, mistrust, or manipulation. They each reveal a specific interchange of energy which is experienced as a major difficulty in the relationship and as a major obstacle in trying to achieve harmony and cooperation. This is not to say that such aspects cannot have positive effects or that they cannot be adjusted to, for these are the areas of tension which the relationship can indicate the greatest learning experiences for both parties. In most cases, the presence of such aspects in a chart comparison will indicate the need for both people to gain a heightened perspective of their interaction and begin to develop new ways of relating in the relationship if it's going to be a long-lasting and a satisfying experience. Okay, the paragraph keeps going. I feel like we got what we needed. As I'm throwing that card or throwing the book down, the Emperor fell off this deck. Interesting. So we could be, and look, I flipped the card and it says Karmic Grace. We've been getting messages about reconciliation for a long time. I'm not trying to bring that particular energy into this collective reading. I'm just feeling like it's being brought to our attention because maybe you're clearing out karmic energies so that you can make room for an emperor. That's kind of what I'm feeling with that little emperor wanting to make an appearance. We shall see what comes out. I'm really loving this new deck. Okay. I don't know if I mentioned earlier too, I have a new website. You can only book a reading on atouchofvenus.com. I've been seeing more fake accounts popping up. People have been messaging me about it, but I can't do anything because these people block my account. So if you see them, please block, report, all the good things. But the only place you can book a personal reading is through my website, atouchofvenus.com. And yeah, they're available though. They're open. Okay. A few popped out. 3. Interesting. We have Daring Rebirth. I haven't seen this card yet. But what I say, somebody may be returning, reconciliation, safe to be seen, safe to be witnessed. Okay. And then we have Rare Success. Ooh, my ears just started ringing. Someone's coming back. Higher Will. This is talking about, this is bigger plan than you would have ever thought. This could be a person that you signed off. You know what I'm saying? This could be a person that you had a very spiritual connection with, but it just wasn't working, and you're like, I have to let this person go. What you might have done, what's standing out to me actually as I look down, is this little cord off of my sage. You might have even done a cord cutting ritual, and cord cutting can actually, it does cut the energetic cord, but it doesn't mean that it's gone forever. It means that the relationship can be reworked should y'all both choose to come back together. Should you guys choose to rebuild an energetic cord, but the cord that you guys had, has been severed, and all the karmic ties to it, So there may be something coming in for you that you did not expect, or maybe you signed off, Maybe this is why you've been going through this heart chakra awakening or this expansion. Oh, and this is Ishtar, which actually is connected to Venus, if you want to do some research with that. Ishtar is Mesopotamian mythology, I believe. She's connected to Venus. So, daring rebirth. We bring you the empowerment of daring rebirth. The bold spirit in you claims the divine defiance of the phoenix. So something coming back for sure. You said, I'm scared. Don't be scared. It refuses defeat at every turn. No matter who or what may seek to overpower your spirit, your peace, your loving heart, and your wild optimism, you shall triumph. I don't know why I said it like that. And divine and daring rebirth. Do not limit yourself with expectations, whether from another or your own mind. There is so much possible for you, a radically different and new you to become. Believe, and it shall be. So there's two ways to interpret that. It could be that you're being reborn, that you're going through a deep transformation, all of these things. I feel like it's okay for you to, I feel like there's something about documenting your journey right now. Like, I don't know if you create content, but maybe documenting like your thought process, your day-to-day, writing more, or even talking about the transformations that you've gone through. But I feel like this will lead to success. But I do feel, obviously we have the Emperor popping out of this deck, and I don't know, it kind of is giving twofold messages. It could be about another person coming in and like something being reborn, but it could also just be about your own internal union and the rebirth that you've been going through. Let's see. Let's get more details. I think it could be more about I'm leaning more towards your personal transformation. I'd like to lean into that because I just saw Leo and blessings. So it's like, I don't know, shining light on blessings. It's about the individual with Leo as well. So we have 11th house friends. Interesting. And then we have this up in reverse. 6th house routine in the reverse. And then Pluto transformation in the reverse. You said I'll take that. Pluto transformation in the reverse. Interesting. I think it's really important for you to share aspects of yourself in this transformation. I think it would be very inspiring for others. But not just that, it feels like, yeah, you're going to be a mentor to kind of, you're basically a guiding light, you know. I feel like this is a very, those who have gone on the journey to improving themselves or have connected with spirit in that way, you can just tell. You know what I'm saying? There's a different type of glow about them. They have these boundaries that are impenetrable. They have this air of protection over them, you know. He says, I'm a wounded healer. Yes, because I mean, you've gone through a lot of things. I feel like there's a transition from wounded healer, even that title, to like spiritual leader, you know, because I don't know, I feel like it's more empowering to not identify with being wounded, you know, but I do feel like that is an aspect of your story, and it's to help you to develop your healing abilities or to see yourself in the light that I guess the divine sees you in, you know, as the gem pops out. But it feels like there's some community that is kind of your community. It feels like is a little bit dormant right now because they haven't been activated by you in watching your transformation. And so or being inspired by your transformation. It feels like there's like this, what's really standing out to me is the safe to be seen, but we have 6th house routine in the reverse. And it's like, I feel like you are kind of really rigid and private, you know, and especially when it comes to perception. Because, and it's not about like you wanting to come off as perfect necessarily. It's just that you kind of want to show the finished product. It's almost like, I don't know, like Erykah Badu, she's like, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. And, but like at the same time, like you are the project. And so like, you're not really wanting people to look at you yet because you don't feel like you're done. It's like, don't look at my painting. It's not done yet, you know? And it's like, Spirit is saying, no, people want to see the creative process. People want to know how to create their life. Like you are literally the bridge and the starborn. You are like, you hold some kind of energetic frequency of connecting people from one reality to another. And he said you're literally painting. I love that you're painting right now. But yeah, it feels like Spirit is like, no, we need you to share your process right now. I don't know exactly how big of a scale that looks. I think that's because we're doing collective. It kind of depends on you and what you feel called to do, it feels like. But I don't know. I just want to get 3, okay? All these little mini messages keep popping out. So we have the Maiden. I think to be in groups previously, or yeah, to have friends in the past, or to be, I don't know, accepted in some way, you made yourself really small. Or I want to get one more for that. Not a Maiden. The Unseen, yeah. It was like you didn't actually want to be perceived at all, so you wanted to fade into the background, similar to like how this is pointillism. If somebody wanted to see you, they had to look really hard, you know. But I feel like Spirit is kind of pushing you out of your comfort zone and into the light, because you have so much. It's not just potential anymore. You're realizing your potential. But a part of this puzzle, it feels like, is to kind of be seen. And it's like you're used to being like a light in the shadows and being in the shadows. And Spirit is like, no, you need to be like out more, you know? And I think that there's less responsibility with also keeping yourself in the shadows, you know? But that's not necessarily true. It kind of, it weighs a lot on your consciousness, you know, because you still feel the call, you feel the responsibility. Yes, he said, I like being in the background, I'm being pushed. Exactly. But it's like, there's less responsibility. I think there's something around like not wanting to assume so much responsibility for people or the perceptions of people. And I feel like there's also like, I have to mention, like, you're not responsible for anybody's perception of you, you know, but I do feel like there's I think I put on my threads sometime last week or something, that I was like, what did I say? I can't tell you what to do. All I can do is show you what I've done, and hopefully it inspires you, you know? Because I think even when I first started giving readings back in like 2019, 2020, I was so nervous, but I also having all these Virgo fucking placements, you know, as well. And having a very like ADHD obsessive, you know, hyper focused personality, I can take in a lot of information, but I almost felt the weight of, if somebody came to me for a reading and they had a question, I needed to know the answer to everything. There's a maturity that's happening here from maiden to queen, where it's like you have kind of assumed this place on your throne. People come to you and you're well resourced. You don't have to know everything, but you know somebody that does. You have the information available to you. You can lead people to the place that you transformed from with, you know, the books, the things, you know what I'm saying? But you don't have to hold anybody's hand through their transformation. And you're not responsible for what people do with that information or not. It's your job to present it. I feel like what Spirit's saying. So then we have the vessel, the shadow, and the flame. Interesting. There's something around body consciousness, like being overly conscious about your body, that you don't want to be seen as well. It may not be something that you say outwardly, and this is very relatable to me if this is you, but I feel like you want to look a certain way, you want to, you know, feel more confident about how you look. But like I said, people that have done a certain amount of work, there's a certain aura that is about them, whether you feel like you look the part or not, quote unquote, whatever that means to you in your mind, whatever your ego is telling you, or really your shadow is telling you, trying to keep you in the shadows, you know, because we have the vessel, we have the flame, and we have the shadow, you know, all these dark cards. And it's like, it wants to keep you in this place of being the light in the darkness and keeping you around a lot of darkness, because that's where you're comfortable at, because you've been in this place for a long time. But I feel like there's some kind of purging happening with your body, and like you kind of wanting to transform how you look as well, because you want to feel confident about being seen. But I feel like Spirit is just confirming, like the healer on the bottom of the deck, like you have this energy that people need. They're not skating by like the affirmations that you need. Specifically, I had a conversation with my spirit team about this, and they will give you all the affirmation that you need. You know what I'm saying? Locks and nose ring. That's, you know what I'm saying? You have to change it up every once in a while. And just like, I don't know, it feels like you're going through an identity shift. But also, it feels like they want you to feel comfortable and safe in your body to be seen. Because I feel like the first kind of few times that you'll be coming out into the light, quote unquote, they're going to push you out. There could be a lot of insecurities that come up that your shadow tries to, you know, fuck with your mind about. You know, you might feel insecure about wearing certain things, or like, does this look right on me? Am I imposter syndrome? It almost feels like, you know. And Spirit is saying that you're not an imposter. You really are going through this transformation, that you're perfect just as you are. If you're needing affirmations of this, obviously we can do our own conscious work on that, like by doing our affirmations, doing some mirror work. You know, that is something that is really powerful, that I feel like we could all benefit from, but it's not easy to do, to really perceive yourself in that way. But then if you can perceive yourself, then you'll have a lot easier of a time letting other people perceive you, you know, like surrendering to the fact that that is just life in general. And if we bring it back to what we were reading, you know, in the book, the good book of the astrology and karma transformation, Look at, we're talking about perception, this big ass eyeball. We're talking about how the psyche rules the bottom half of the chart, and then we flip over to understanding what the reflection is being offered back to us in the world. If we can step up to the plate as healers and allow ourselves to be seen and perceived, it offers people the opportunity to see them in a different light. If we hold that vibration of healing, self-love, it offers people, you're going to be a positive mirror for other people rather than allowing people. It's like switching it's like a shift that's happening from like allowing people to present their shadows to you so that you can see and experience your shadow, because you've done a lot of shadow work already. I feel like we're getting past that point. We're being able to debunk the shadow and see it really clearly, and all the games it likes to play and the attention seeking that it needs. And it's like, okay, we can sit with the shadow and we can do that work. But also, like, when we're not doing that, we're co-creating with the universe, and we want to be put in the position of being in people's lives for a positive reason, so it feels like allowing yourself to be perceived is an offering to like the rest of the collective, to those that you come in contact with, because their reflection that they will be picking up is going to be one of self-love, acceptance, you know what I'm saying? All those good things. So yeah, let yourself be seen. Actually, yes, we have the mystic, and then we have the animal, which is about being free-spirited. So the people that you'll be coming in contact with, they want to see, they're actually manifesting you in this way. I love all the eyeballs popping up. And people are reaching out for your vibration. This is the riddle card, and it's like, you don't know why you'll feel called to go to some places, to go, be around certain people. You won't know why people are wanting you around, but I think that this is clarifying that they need to be able to see you being your most authentic frequency, your mystic and your free spirit, because it offers them the reflection, the opportunity to choose their life and be as free and as magical and as mystical and as loving of themselves as you, by you entering their life and offering that reflection. That is an aspect of themselves that they want to discover as well. It'll put them on a path of following their heart, of following, like, kind of going on this rite of passage. It feels like this particular collective, and I just did a reading about this yesterday, is like accepting your tower frequency. Basically being a walking tower, and we kind of talked about this with like the Scorpio things earlier. It's like being okay with putting people in an uncomfortable position, but it's not actually like through malice or anything like that, or being an asshole or anything like that. It's literally through self-love and through showing your gifts that it unlocks something else for them, another pathway that they can take, and it is the unbeaten path. It feels like this is kind of really giving Hecate energy, like you might really be called to study her, or she meets people, or you meet her at the crossroads, basically. And so you kind of carry that frequency where it's like, oh, when you come into somebody's life, especially in an intimate way, especially in a close, like when they're around you for a long time, or they're able to, you gift them with the opportunity to be in your life in that way. They're put at a crossroads because you are going to be able to see and to highlight to them their unconscious behaviors, that are keeping them from exploring a different way of being, the shapeshifter. You're just a big guide in this transformational time, in this energy. But if you don't allow yourself to be perceived, there are a lot of people that are desiring you to just come into their life to show them something, Again, we have the gem popping out. Anything else with this oracle deck? And we have the vision. Literally, they need to be able to see you. They need to be able to see you specifically. They have to see it to believe it. Unfortunately, these people, they have to see it to believe it. So you are the one that's, I just feel like I have deja vu right now, so heavy. With the mask, you have to take off the mask so that they can see you fully, and then activate something within them, because unfortunately they have to see things to believe it, you know, versus like, I don't know, believing before they see, you know what I'm saying? So yes, we have cutting the deck to the 9 of Pentacles. This is you being hot, sexy, and unbothered by other people's perceptions and judgments, you know. And the Emperor, he didn't want to be shuffled. Maybe this is you specifically. We had the Emperor coming out earlier, and I was talking about reconciliation, but maybe you could be attracting a partner through this as well. They need to see you. You know how masculines be. They need to see. They're very visual creatures. Okay. But no, I feel like it could also be you stepping into a leadership position. Let's see. He said, oh. Yes. And we have the 9 of Pentacles again. My nose is itchy. And the King of Wands in reverse. You reclaiming a new identity. You know, because the King of Wands in reverse can represent a lot of ego. So it's kind of like defeating the ego to be in your truest, in your final form type shit, you know. And it's like Judgment in reverse, 7 of Cups, King of Pentacles, and the Ace of Swords. Is that an outside energy or the collective's energy? I think somebody could have made a judgment call on you that was not accurate. So again, I kind of get this feeling of a little bit of reconciliation, but it feels like there was somebody that came off a little bit mature or immature, and they made a judgment call on you. They were kind of confused, but it was also based off of the fact that you were wearing a mask, you know, and so maybe some of the behaviors that you were displaying weren't of your true nature. And so now it feels like, since you are embodying a newer, more authentic frequency, somebody's able to actually see you fully. Feels like this person could be facing a lot of confusion, because it's like upright or reverse. Upright or reverse, please. It's reverse, okay. I feel like you said, oh my god, if this is who I think it is, I'm gonna yell because I blocked them. That's actually what I was flipping the cards for, because I'm like, this person, I feel like whatever I've been picking up on this collective energy of somebody watching the collective or thinking about reconciling with the collective, it's been Page of Swords, meaning that they've been watching, maybe like snooping on a private, you know, thing or anything like that. But I actually feel like it's reversed. They're very indecisive about something, and they are tired of being confused about it. So it feels like they actually have stopped, and they're trying to conserve their energy. I feel like they're going back and forth in their mind about whether they made the right judgment call or not. But it feels like they pulled back to figure this out or something. Yeah. 7 of Swords in reverse. 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Can we get one more? They're so wishy-washy. Thank you for the gift. They're so wishy-washy. It feels like I have 7 of Swords in reverse, and we have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Then we have the 2 of Pentacles in reverse, the 8 of Cups in reverse, and the 9 of Cups. And then you said I like how shiny the cards are. Yes, these are pretty. Then we have 3 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. It feels like this kind of illusion of it not working, of something not working out. They're trying to let it go. They're trying to pick a reality, I guess. And I feel like they're taking space. They're holding on to their energy. They don't want to, I don't know, waste their energy or feel like, I don't know, you've probably been on their mind pretty heavily lately. And so it's like, it gives a consuming energy, but I feel like they don't like that. So they're pulling away. But I don't feel like that they've completely walked away, because then we have the 8 of Cups here in reverse. And that means that there's an energetic tie, an energetic cord. And it kind of goes back into the messages that we're having before. You know, you said because I blocked them. That makes sense. But there's still an energetic cord with the 8 of Cups, you know. But then there's 9 of Cups upright. And so somebody's wish was fulfilled by this. Maybe yours because you blocked them. But this is confusing me. I'm not gonna lie. We have the Queen of Cups and then we have the Page of Pentacles. So it's like almost like a new energy being presented. Yes, I think that is a cord cutting needing to take place, because I do feel like you're in a new energy. I feel like you would be open to a new energy, you know? But I do feel like the Tower in reverse and Temperance in reverse, there's some kind of like foundation, obviously, or something that is being held on to that needs to fall. The cord cutting needed, is that what the point of this message is? We have the 10 of Swords. You said I'd rather do a cord cutting because 10 of Swords, and yeah, I feel like that's right on the money. I do think that a cord cutting would be really helpful for this connection. We have the 10 of Swords and then we have the 3 of Swords. This will be healing for the heart from some kind of betrayal that maybe you endured during this connection. And then we have, yep, the High Priestess. Get into your witchy bag. Yeah, so I do think that you should do a cord cutting. We have the 7 of Pentacles. And then we have the Emperor again. And then we have the 6 of Cups. Interesting. I feel that this collective needs to do a cord cutting because it's best for the collective, you know? And I feel that, as we kind of discussed, that the cord cuttings don't necessarily mean that a connection is over forever, but in the present moment when you're doing the cord cutting, you are releasing the cord that had you guys connected from the beginning. The cord that had betrayals attached to it, the cord that had mistrust attached to it, the cord that had X, Y, and Z, all the swords in the back with the 10 of Swords, you know? And you are releasing with love, and you're letting divine will, higher will, take over. And you don't think about it anymore. However, I do see that there is an investment or someone waiting patiently, an emperor that is waiting for the past to be either, there's potential of the past, and or there is something that the past is either being cleared up I don't know if it's the same person, if they'll be rising to be an emperor because you do the cord cutting and then this releases this energetic tide to the past. You really can't tell, you really don't know, but I do know that the consistent advice here in the reading is to do the damn cord cutting. Okay? Because I'm just like, I can't tell you, you know, there's so many, especially when it comes to other people, it's all up to their free will and what they're willing to do in their life. You know, if they're willing to participate or not participate, if they're willing to answer the call or not. You know what I'm saying? Particular astrology. I have full birth chart readings on my chart. On my website. But I do focus on like transformative astrology. I focus on like shadow work with astrology. I focus on karmic patterns in astrology. I don't know if there's any particular term for it, but I've also helped people with like discovering or identifying their spiritual gifts in their chart. So all of those things are available on my website. But yes, I love astrology. That was like my first kind of like step, dipping my toe into all the spiritual stuff years ago. You know, you said can confirm. Did I leave off on that note before I saw that? I do see collaboration with a change of perspective, and then there's enlightenment. So I do feel like if you cut the cord, it's going to be beneficial to you mainly, and that's all you should really care about. You know what I'm saying? But it also would be beneficial for this other person, whether it's in releasing them from this connection, whether it's releasing yourself from this connection, whether it's allowing them to have the space, the time, and the energetic space to rise into their divine masculine. Whatever the case is, it just feels like there's actual connection, like, or collaboration, I'm saying, through a spiritual perspective shift. And so I feel like this would be really healing for both of you. And I think that the name of the game with this particular connection is detachment and like healthy space for growth and not needing to know what happens in the future, like literally giving it to God type of thing and being like, look, I know what's best for me, so I'm going to do that. And whatever's best for me, my partner, my divine partner will align with that, whether that means that we go our separate ways or we come together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that focusing on the outcome, and I feel the pressure of like saying this in the reading and making it really clear, because I feel like so many people come to tarot, come to astrology, come to all these things specifically for partnership and for love. And I feel like that's why there was so much emphasis in the beginning of the reading of me talking about that subject in the bibliomancy kind of like section of the reading, because there's so many people that get lost in the sauce when it comes to tarot and all those things and focus on the future, or will they come back, will I, you know, and it's just like, what about you and what you need in this present moment? You know what I'm saying? And that's it. What about that? You know, that's it. Not about the future. Although obviously tarot and all of these things are divination tools and we can look into the future, but it's not guaranteed if the other person does not participate. If that other person, again, we all have free will, so you could change your mind and the outcome could be different. We live in a multifaceted, multidimensional universe. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to use your own guidance, your own guidance system, your own, you know what the fuck I'm saying, okay? I do feel called to pull a Mary Magdalene card because we did talk about union and all of the things in these abstract ways, but let's see. She talks about union within the self and accessing Christ consciousness by incorporating the divine feminine aspects of, like Sophia, Christ consciousness, the feminine aspect of the other half of it that's so forgotten. So we have freedom. I'm called here to be free. And then we have the rose. I trust in divine timing. Everything comes from within. Let's see. freedom. Let's see. Oh, here we go. It's right here. Perfect. This is it. This is the mountaintop, the ultimate place to reach. This moment, this exalted state of being, just fully here right now in this breath, in this body. This is what we work so hard for freedom. And this is what makes freedom so powerful. It is not dependent on anything outside of us. It doesn't arrive because of a single event or a singular person in our life, no matter how significant. Freedom comes from within. So we can experience freedom even in the midst of the most tremendous pain or the most stressful circumstances. Freedom is not bound to anything that's temporary. Okay? Freedom is the glorious inner state of peace we can reach when we're unbound. We've unbound ourselves from all of the egoic states that we can find that have confined our perception. Freedom feels like a blank slate, a wide expanse, a universe of possibility suddenly opening up from within. Freedom is our birthright. Christ reminds us in Galatians 5:13. I think that's how you say it. Like I said, I'm not very biblical. Remember, friends, to you the call came to give you freedom. And we are called here to be free, both externally and internally. Free from persecution, free from oppression, free from others causing us harm, and free from our own thoughts that harm us from within. We are here to free ourselves and to be in service of love that actively works to end oppression in all its forms. We cultivate the state of feeling free by remembering that freedom is our birthright, no matter what unfolds, no matter how often the ego tries to bind us by one of its 7 powers. There's a freedom that comes from within. It's a freedom that no one can ever take from us. There's a freedom that's divine. It's witnessed and then passed on, and from heart to liberated heart. There's a freedom that comes from knowing true peace, from remembering the good that we are, from aligning with the source of love itself. This is what we're called here to be free. This is what we're called here to demonstrate, to protect, and to advocate for each other, freedom. So the question is, what does freedom feel like for me in this moment? Beautiful. So let's get some positive affirmations. This is a longer reading. I think it's beautiful. It's because we did the bibliomancy in the beginning. But yes, you're carrying the vibration that can set people free, that can allow them to go through this transformation that you've gone through. You can be an example of this light, of that. You carry the frequency of creator codes of freedom. And yeah, other people deserve to know that these things, these thoughts, these ideas, this way of being, this way of living is available to them, you know? TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. Getting on my motherfucking nerves. Okay, here we go. I see grace and possibility in all of life's challenges. Beautiful. You saying I can see people free gave me chills right now. Yes, I love that. I accept the gifts I've been given as a high service to the world. I've never pulled this card, and I've pulled cards from this so many times, you know. I accept the gifts I've been given as a high service to the world. I love that. It is safe to ask for help. People want to support me. Interesting. I have all these little flowers. Oh, and that just rolled over. I don't know if you saw how the card just kind of like flipped over here, but I welcome healthy, loving relationships, which if rolled over here to the 11th house friends. So like I said, there's a community that is waiting for you, and they're waiting for you to activate them so that they can support you in stepping into your leadership role. But you can't be a leader if there's no group to lead, and vice versa. They can't be a part of your community if you're not being a leader. You know, so it's like y'all are kind of waiting for each other. When I move my body, I feel empowered, cleansed, and strong. So yeah, something again about just it. I feel like this collective can be really hard on themselves. It's like been an undercurrent of the reading. And I think that if you just continually take care of yourself and your body, you will feel better about it. Because it's coming back to that middle pile of the reading about kind of feeling a little bit insecure about certain things. So it's like if that is a reason that your shadow is using to hold you back, because you want to look a certain way, or that you feel like you should be at a certain place in your physical appearance and your transformation as well, then there's nothing stopping you from changing the things that you don't quote unquote like about yourself. But also it's about loving yourself through the process of your transformation. And this is why it's so important for people to see you doing your transformation, not just for your body, but like in general in life, doing your transformation, your creative process, because even transforming your body is a creative process, right? And so it's like allowing yourself to take part in that and love yourself through every single step and document it and show the world that, like, yes, like I accept myself, I love myself, and I don't have to stay in the shadows, I trust that my intuition is always leading me in the right direction, and my productivity stems from inspiration. I focus on things that bring me joy. My tasks become effortless action. So it's like I really feel the energy of especially when it like comes to your body, really tapping into like, what do I need right now? I feel like when we go through like these transformations or body transformations, and like we're on this workout routine, again, even the words workout routine, we have to stick to a plan, we have to do this, we have to do that, and really all you need to do is move your body for 30-40 minutes, 30-40 an hour, give yourself an hour a day. It doesn't have to be a HIIT workout. It doesn't have to be all these hard things, or like running and putting like all this pressure on your knees if you have like, I don't know, what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter. Just move your body, feel good while you're doing it, tap into your body and see what do you need. If you're really tired and your energy levels aren't there that day, maybe we just stretch and we do yoga today and we go for a walk, rather than pushing ourselves. Or maybe it'll be really healing for you to swim. So maybe you could find somewhere you can swim for 30 minutes versus like, I don't know, running at the park, It's like, what can we do that is inspired action, even when it comes to taking care of yourself, I don't know why I pulled another one. I was pretty much done. But my genuine desire to serve clears the path for me to step into my purpose. And then on the bottom of the deck, it says, I am a light worker in disguise. I don't have to talk about it. I can just be it. Okay. So that is the collective message. Like I said, if you'd like a personal, you can only book through atouchofvenus.com. That's linked in my bio or the description box below, wherever you're seeing this. I do have a free workshop about how to align with the frequency of love and abundance on my website. It's pay what you want, pay what you can kind of vibe. It was up there for free. Now it's pay what you want. So there's that. And then I don't know, I may do a workshop on karmic relationships and like things like that. Or maybe I don't know. Let me know, you guys. Like, I feel like in the comments below, or I'm about to get off of here now, so you can't really comment on the live. But if you guys if you want something, like if you want to request a certain workshop or something, like comment on my page so then I like can see it, and put it in my consciousness, because I can do things on astrology. I can do like planetary things. I could do just overall topics like karmic relationships or karmic ties and like spiritual contracts, things like that. So I'm here to help you on this journey. Okay. So I'll see you guys later. I hope you have a beautiful day.